Hi everyone! So in my ongoing quest to abandon modern technology because it sucks, I bought myself something kind of fun. And it is. Gary, this is my Palm Tungsten T3. I know, much design, such beautifulness, but it actually is pretty dang good. Has a 400 megahertz Intel X-Scale CPU. That's a mouthful, I know, but you know. Has 64 megabytes of onboard RAM, which we'll get to. Palm OS 5, and a pretty decent screen. You can probably see these little seams here. And yeah, that's because it can do this. Wow. So, a little bit of backstory first. Why did I spend, I think, honestly, like all totaled up, almost $80 to $100 on this thing? I'm not proud of that, but I did it. So, you know, get over it. But, I have some good reasons. It's just because I'm getting increasingly tired of everything being so internet connected. Like, why does Google need to know that at 2 p.m. every day I take my dog out for a poo? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Why do they need to know that? So instead, this little guy, I can just put it in here, take 2 p.m., take the dog out for a poo, you know? There are, of course, other things this thing can do if I unlock it. I'm not going to show you my passcode. And those things are, well, a lot, to be honest. Palm made this guy really, really expendable. But the buttons we have, your calendar, your... I honestly don't really understand this. It's like a note-taking thing, but it's not the memo. It's kind of weird. Whatever. To-do list and your contacts. And I know that's kind of boring. And yeah, it is. But don't worry, this thing gets interesting. It gets fun. It gets really, really fun. But why the T3 in particular? Well, I mean, just the fact it does this is pretty cool. But it's also the fact that it was really kind of the end of an era, in a way, in my mind. Like, this is one of the last really, really nice palms, in my opinion. Not the last. Not at all. But certainly one of the last. And, like, it just has some flair to it. And I could, instead, have bought a Palm 5X. Which, well, yeah, I've got one. But it did. It cooked. Well, it's not cooked, necessarily. I just don't have... I don't have that. I'm very upset about it, because I do want to get this thing working. I don't have the duck. I'm very sad. Back to the T3, though. There was also, like, the Sony option. You know, I could have bought a Sony Clear, or maybe, like, a Dell thing that I forgot what they're called. Those run Windows Mobile. And, like, Palm OS just works better in my head. Like, Windows Mobile, you kind of have to have a Windows machine to use it. But I like pairing it up with my old machines, most of which are Macintosh. I have a few of them. Just a few. Maybe a few too many. I know you may be looking at this thinking, mate, what's all this about? What's going on here? Well, that is a really fun feature. That, my friends, is and it is the hand recognition software that these use. It's really cool. Now, this guy does use Graffiti 2, which is different from Graffiti 1, hence why it's called Graffiti 2, but you can actually mod these to use Graffiti 1 if you prefer it. I personally, I don't really mind. I've used Graffiti 1, well, I've used an emulation of Graffiti 1, I should say. None of my devices which is graffiti, won't actually function. Cue this guy. But yeah, it's completely possible to modify it. However, if you just need to write something that's like a little complex, or you're just not really feeling graffiti, there's a keyboard. Yep, you can write dingus. What more do you need? And this stylus is really fun. Look at that. I could fidget with this all day. So much fun. But I use this thing for other stuff. I have trouble getting to sleep. This is relevant, I promise. But as any of my friends know, I have trouble getting to sleep. I'm regularly awake for long periods of time after I go to bed. And so, what I quite enjoy doing is playing simple little games. You know, like here's me Bejeweled. I'm not great at it. Yeah, I can't even. Oh wait, help. Send help. Oh. Yeah, anyway, I'm not here to play gameplay of Bejeweled, but I am going to show one cool thing. Rotate. Look at that. How cool is this? So you can hold it like that if you feel so inclined, and I actually do. I like holding it like this. But there's some other games too, which I do also love. Let me find yeah. Like this one called Raging Thunder. Nice little racing game. Look at me go. I'm not very good at it. Yeah, auto accelerates. Speed! Power and the speed. No! Ah, dang it. And another one of my favorites. And I don't have as much as I'd like. That's because I don't have an SD card for this yet. But I do have one coming. That is on the way. Is this good? Just a nice little vertical shooter. A lot of fun. Pew, 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 pew. How about the... Give me the ring. I don't know what the rings do. I just got them. Alright, proper ring. Woo! That was the professional strategy there. Yes! I need to stop before I get distracted. And another really awesome feature is documents to go. Now, I have the script of this very video here. Yep, full sheet music. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that. Probably not. I want this to be a more chill, rambly kind of video. You probably couldn't even tell it was scripted, to be honest. Documents to go allows me to have documents to go. I can sync this up with my Mac or a Windows PC and take all my docs with me. And I'll take some B-roll of doing that in a moment. But this, I'm actually reading off my G3, so, you know, kind of fun. But like, in conclusion, should you get one of these? Well, honestly, yeah. I've loved using this thing. It's beautiful. It just works. Really, like, after replacing the battery, that was the only problem I had. All the buttons work. Everything works. Except that. But I have suspicions that I might be able to fix it. I don't think it's a hardware problem. I think it's a software problem. But anyway, all of the critical things work. Because I don't really care about the headphone jack because, well... Where have I put my iPod? I'm Australian. So of course I've got one of these. Like, duh. But yeah, so I don't really care if this thing's headphone jack doesn't end up working, because I have that. And these two actually make a really nice pairing. I like these. But if you just want a nice, simple device for taking notes on the go, and you, like me, hate using your phone keyboard, well, even using the keyboard on this is nicer. Because the stylus, it's a nice stylus. It's got a nice point. Yeah. Which is also a reset pin. Which is really cool. Yeah. So, I eventually want to make a nicer video about this thing. This was very much just to say, hey, I'm not dead and I still want to keep doing this stuff. I've just been really demotivated. But, all that aside, I think you should get one of these if you can. Don't pay as much as I did, unless you have to. But, even paying as much as I did, it was still worth it to me. Like, I really like this thing. And eventually, I do intend to pair it up with a dumb phone. Because right now, I still have this thing. Which is a nice phone, I guess, if you like smartphones, which I don't. But, yeah. So, hopefully I'll see you in, a bit less than a month this time. Bye! I could have, instead, bought a Palm 5X. Oh!